How you doing here? Okay, back with another live stream. Let me check the live stream, make sure it's all working good. And don't hear nothing. Let's make sure it all looks like it should be okay, but I don't hear nothing. Maybe check 1, 2. Got to keep talking. That's for one thing. I'll quit talking when I'm checking. So then there's a delay. So sometimes I hit that delay. Well, there's nothing going on. Let's see signal, and it's not muted. Oops. All right. I'm going to reload my stream. I mean, it all looks good and it shows to be green, but I don't hear any sound. All right, are you going to work this time? Oh, I think I know what it is. I plugged in a USB sound card on this thing because I was going to test. I ordered some cables, and there we go. Oh, that still won't work, I don't think. I have to have something plugged in. So yeah, I don't have anything plugged into it. I was going to plug one of these cables I ordered into it. So put everything back. Oh, now it's working. I guess, yeah, okay. I was thinking I was going to have to unplug the thing. The output on this, so the output needs to be, yeah, I just need to put the output on what it needs to be for me to do what I need to do. Okay. Now, I was fixing to say I'm going to have to start a new stream, but oh well. This is how we work around problems. It might be useful to somebody. I have two of those USB sound cards. One of them is in my Lenovo i5 that I'm streaming from right now, and the other one I plugged it into the back of the Dell laptop when I monitor my stream because I was going to. I bought some audio cables that'll plug into it, and I was going to test them by, plugging them into it. And that was my idea. That seemed to be the easiest way. There's a lot of different ways I could do it, but that seemed to be the easiest way. So, okay, everything's working. I just wanted to make sure. I figured I had audio, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you really don't. And you don't want to sit there and think it's working when it's not. Okay, so there you go. These. Let's see, let me go to the desktop. I'll show you the cable. I haven't opened them yet, and that's what I'm going to do is open them. They came in a bag, and of course things in bags can get damaged pretty easily. So I'm going to open them on the camera, and I'll show you the what I think they're going to be. There's two sets of these say they won't be here till tomorrow, but they may have already came, and those say 20 through 25th. Oh, okay. So these may be the ones that came then. They may have already came. They came yesterday, I think, or this morning. But I don't know that I've ever bought the Tripp Lite. It's a good brand of power strips and stuff. I've had several of them over the years, and I don't think I've ever had one break. But this is just a 3.5mm male-to-male, 10-foot. I want to have at least one like that. I have another one that's male to female that's about that long, and I've used it on and off over the years. But when you need it, it's great. like if you have a lapel mic you want to extend or something, a regular one, not a TRS, just a TRS connector. They had pretty darn good reviews, and so I thought, well, you know what? I really like to use pro audio cables as long as if I can find them on a good price, but they can be real pricey. And I'll show you. Since I don't know which ones are in, I guess I should open them first, and I would know. And then I bought two 3.5mm to RCA. That's what I was thinking was in the back, but yeah, you know what to assume does. That makes, what that does to assume something. So if you don't, ask your mom, or maybe you better ask your dad. Don't ask your mom that. So or your uncle or somebody. Anyway, yeah. Being silly here, and I got myself all confused. I think is it Tripp Lite one word? Maybe not. Maybe it's two words. I guess I'll copy it and paste it in there. It's 2 words. So I was going to see. I think I'm not sure where I bought all the Tripp Lite stuff. The ones I have that I'm still using or whatever that I think I've got some that are 20-something years old. That one of them I might have. Okay, so that's all I bought on Amazon. But this one here I bought in 2016, still working like a charm. And the one reason why, the cables, they look just like all the other cheap cables. But I bought some one time, a set of them. I think there was 2 in a set on Amazon. One was bad out of the box when they came as a set, so I had to send them both back. And so I just got my money back. But this is still working great. And I don't know if that's what I paid for it at the time, but anyway, that's not what I'm really going about right now. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll just look for USB, and I think I can show you. Of course, you're going to see a lot of things with USB. Oh, this one's one that has been working great since I bought it, and it's 2017. I was going to get a Tripp Lite, but this has I wanted one with USB charging in it, and all of them were having trouble. They have a lifetime warranty, but I still don't want to mess with sending them back or anything, the Tripp Lites. These had really good reviews, so I got it. And the reason I didn't get the Tripp Lite, you can't just be brand loyal anymore because, everything's made cheaply as possible. Everybody, we always say overseas, all us Americans do, because those are from old enough to remember. And anybody in any country used to do a lot of our own manufacturing, and we had, I was accustomed to things lasting for a very long time. Most things, unless you bought something super cheap. And all my life, I was born in the mid-50s, grew up in the 60s and 70s, and here's one of the sound cards right here. I bought 2 of them. Yeah, here's the other one. So they're going to be the same thing. I bought one in 2013. Now here's a cheap device that lasted a good long time. I don't use them very often. $20. I paid $2 for mine. $20. I just looked in on these the other day, and they were like $4 or something. These prices do this on Amazon all the time. I don't know why. I mean, it's got to be the seller doing this. What do they think they're going to gain by that? Who's going to pay $20 for one of those, even if they don't know? I got mine in 2013 for $2. But I found them like on some other Chinese website, and then started looking on Amazon and got them. But it's the same thing. And I bought them within a few days of each other because I liked the first one so well, and I thought I'm going to have 2 of those. They're nothing really. They're not 7.1 channel. They're simulated when you read everything. And all I wanted was a good output for my laptop because I blew out the chip on the output on some of these Dell laptops. This is a single core. I think it's a Celeron. Around those age, I don't know, maybe a lot of them are that way, but anyway, you know, I used to mix sound for bands and stuff, and I'm accustomed to just being able to plug and unplug anything, live or not. And it'll make a little pop, but it won't hurt anything. Not with that laptop. There's the connector I used. I've got one right here. If I can get it loose. If I can get it to where it would be on the camera. I guess I should have switched. I'm fiddling around here going nuts. Fixing to switch to the camera, and I didn't do it. Okay. So here's what I was trying to get. Here's a 3.5 to RCA, and then I have 1/4 inch adapters in it. If you need to go into a mixer, sidetrack video. If you need to go into a mixer, this is a real handy adapter to have. It's got a female RCA on one end and a 1/4 inch standard phono plug on the other. That'll go into your mixer. It's not stereo, it's mono. But when you have two of them, I've got this one already plugged in over here. When you just put one, you know, when you have what they call a stereo channel usually on your mixer, this Behringer Xenyx, I've gotten way away from my mic, Behringer Xenyx 802, has two channels. I'm going to end up moving my knobs that are stereo. So channels 1 and 2 are either TRS or XLR mono, and then 3 and 4 are two monos to make stereo. And that's just typically how soundboards work and how they're wired. And so this is the adapter I had on that. I had one of these. See this metal? That's female to female. Now that channel's down, but you know that's not going to hurt that mixer. Unplugging it or unplugging that. But this is the 3.5mm here, and that's female to female. So you could just make the cable longer. That's what I was doing. I was using a male to male to make it longer, and then go to one of these to go into an amplifier out in the garage is where I was at. And I had carried the laptop out there and was, you know, playing music while I was working and stuff. And so my sound quit, and so the first thing you do, you know, you do like this and you plug it back in to see if it's okay. And usually that's the problem. Well, I heard a huge pop in that thing and no more sound because it was coming out of the laptop into my speaker system. So what I decided, you know, the ones that are made out of plastic, I thought these were good, would be better than anything I'd ever had before because they're steel and they won't break when you step on them and stuff. Or they're not steel, they're aluminum, I think. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're aluminum. But anyway, the only thing is, inside of there is conductive too. So that's what I'd figured out. When you're halfway in, you can be in a short situation for just a millisecond there when you're plugging it in or unplugging it. I knew they popped louder than any of the others I'd had. And the plastic ones, you know, if you're in between the clicks, then you can actually use them like that halfway in. But it's the in between there. In between the first click and the second click is what I believe they actually do, I think, short. These metal ones actually, because they're metal all the way through and through, they short ground to, you know, one of the others. And that chip was so sensitive. I actually read later that was their way of protecting the motherboard, is to let the chip blow out. They didn't, instead of putting a fuse in there, or of course it'd be kind of, you know, it would be expensive and a big device to put in a laptop, a fuse, you know, a standard type of fuse. But there are fuses that, well, they're not fuses, but they're what do they call them? Well, there's one called a thermal fuse, but that's kind of same kind of thing where it will. Now, some thermal fuses just blow, just like a fuse, but there are some that, when there's too much heat, then they open up. They have like a reed, you know, that opens up, and then whenever it cools down, it goes back together. And there's also protection fuses that do something like that. Now, this is a physical device I'm talking about inside of that. You know, it's a kind of considered electronics, but it's really just a switch, you know. But anyway, I've looked them up recently for heaters, for bathroom heater. That's a different thing, but similar. But they have fuses. I knew about. I looked up fuses because I was trying to figure out what they might. I thought they might have something. I knew about them, and I thought they might have something like that in the laptop. And I thought, well, could I put something like that in it to protect it? But you know that this Dell 6000 laptop, it has to be taken apart completely to do anything like that, and I've just never wanted to get that in depth. Once I found the $2 sound card that worked, I never wanted to get that in depth in it, because I took another older Dell apart like that, try to fix the USB, and I think I did fix it. I've checked it with the multimeter, and I had no shorts in my soldering joints or anything. But then it tried to boot up once or twice, and then it wouldn't work anymore. And I finally decided it actually had more problems on the motherboard, or the memory was bad in it, and it wasn't mine. And the person, you know, that owned it never did want to go, you know, buy memory or anything for it. So we were just trying to see if we could save it. But boy, long intro to a long way to get to just unboxing something or unbagging. This is an unbagging video. Okay, I don't guess I'll put that on the title. It probably sounds kind of weird. Okay, so get on the lapel so I can get over there. I'm sure somebody could make something out of that. It didn't sound good. Okay, so there's my little bag, and that's where it came from. That's the supplier, Cables Online. Atlantic Computer Tech Inc. through Amazon, of course. Isn't that one of the only two places to buy these days, Amazon or eBay? And I don't like eBay, so I don't ever buy at eBay. I used to sell on eBay. That's why I don't like eBay, after dealing with them. So, well, actually, it's worse buying. I tried to buy something a couple times, but anyway, Dad, come on, everything is falling and driving me crazy. Well, you can stay down there. I think I'll turn my little preview laptop around. Maybe I'll be moving it in a minute anyway. Okay, yeah, I wanted to open it, and you think, oh, it's just a simple little package, just open it. And I started to just do that, and then I thought, well, what if it's been damaged? It's inside of here, soft package, something that is breakable. So, you know, if it got, I don't see any footprints on it at least, but it actually looks like it's not all like it. Looks like it's been beat to heck, so that's good. But can get my little scissors in there. I want to be careful that I don't get a hold of anything that I shouldn't get a hold of with the scissors. I'm trying to stay way up to the top there. Okay. It is the ones I thought it was. Is it all of them? You would think it would be. Then again, I thought, well, maybe they're coming from different companies. Oh, no, okay. Yeah, RCA. Now, when I used to buy stuff like this, I'd leave it in the bag until I was ready to use it, and it might be years later. But if it was in a bag like this, usually it was a bag you could open and shut, so I'd get them out and put them back. But these are going to be tested right here and right now, because I want to make sure they work. But yeah, they're not. Nobody stepped on them and broken the pins. I'll just say connectors. It doesn't look to me like so. That's a good thing. See that? I got a trash can right there. Okay, so yeah, that one looks okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna, the way these bags are made, they're not resealable, so I'm just gonna. That's the new thing, kind of. I mean, it's not a new thing, but it's new. For quite a few years now, most things you get come in resealable bags, and I like that. I keep them. Sometimes they're, you know, pretty thin, and they don't. They're hard to reopen, and when you open them, they break on you. But let's go to both cameras now. Should be able to show what I'm doing here just about. The only thing I can't show is plug it into the back of the computer, the laptop. But forgot how long. They're not 10 foot. What did I order? Let's see how long they are, and then I'll check and see what I ordered. I think it was that just male one that I ordered that was 10 foot. I think these are shorter than that. I think they're 6, supposed to be 6 or something like that. That's another thing I guess I hadn't, you better check the link too. Okay, let's see. They are, that looks like 5 foot. Let me try that again, but let's get on the endoscope. Let's see, can we see that measurement? They're a bit over, let's say 5 or 6. The endoscope is not doing it for me like that. See, let's just do the endoscope. Maybe I'll be able to read it. Dang it. That's 6, isn't it? Let's turn it the right side up. Yeah, okay, 6 foot. So they must be 6 foot cables. Yeah, I did pretty good at keeping it even, so. I mean, they may be exactly 6 foot, but really, I think they're a little over. But so let's look and see if that's what I ordered before I forget about that. I don't want to lose that twisty. Okay. And they're not gold plated or anything, but really the only thing you have to do to, if you leave them and don't disconnect them for long periods of time, you should just twist them. I've showed that a few times. I do that every day, every time I use my soundboard. I don't get to the back of the computer and do it very often, but they go for months to a year before they start corroding enough to cause any trouble. And the gold ones, the ones that these ones that they say they're gold plated, I don't really see them doing any better. If you let them set for a long time, they'll get staticky and lose, and maybe one side loses connection or something until you wiggle them. And when you twist them a bit, that just knocks off the oxidation, you know. And I mean, you've got this stuff here if you need it. If you're in bad shape, then this is one of the best ones I've ever used right here, if I can ever get to it. So the green one, there's a red one and a green one, and the green one's the better one. For years, I was talking about this stuff back in the 70s. I started doing, 1975 is when I learned about it. And I used it for years and years, and then, you know, kind of, I remembered the name and stuff, but, you know, I didn't remember that. It wasn't, you couldn't get it everywhere back, you know, for many years until internet came to be the big thing. Couldn't get a lot of stuff without going to a real supply store or something. And so I tried all kinds of Walmart, you know, over-the-counter Walmart brands. It's all over the counter, but this stuff always worked better. Of course, they changed formulas of things sometimes over the years too, because of, you know, EPA and stuff. But this one worked. Anyway, I've been using red, and then I realized one day I was on Amazon, I saw there was a green one, and I thought that's, I think, maybe the one. Anyway, there's a slight difference in ingredients. And the red one doesn't work as good. I kept spraying it on my electronics, my volume knobs and all that stuff, and it helped a little, but it wasn't taking care of the problem. And I have some Jensen speakers that are computer speakers, have a nice sound, and they worked fine, but there's a lot of crackling in the volume. And the left side will say cut in and out a lot. And I gave it a few squirts the other day with that green stuff, and it just after, you know, I let it dry, and then when I turned it back on, it was perfect. Been perfect ever since for a week or so. So that's what I remember that stuff doing. And I tried that Detoxic brand before. I didn't find it to be any better than the red that's CRC, the red CRC. And it's a $12 a can. This stuff's $7. That's too darn much, or 6 or 7. So anyway, what I'm going to do over here on my mixer, I already have a cassette deck plugged in on one channel over here. I'm just going to take the RCAs out and put these RCAs in over here. Make sure it's turned down. So that's what I was talking about a minute ago. The stereo channel. You have two monos. Of course, they can be. I mean, you could, if you were really trying to get hurting for mics and you only had this little mixer, you could always use, well, if you had high impedance mics that use 1/4 inch, or you could convert an XLR to 1/4 inch, but you're going to lose some signal. And you don't have gain, you just have volume or level. But these two channels have gain. They're 4 mics, but you can use mics. I've done it before in these channels. But you may not get exactly what you're hoping to get. This is, oh yeah, I was going to go look at the length. Well, we'll look up the length in a minute. I'm out in the middle of doing this. Okay, so I have my sound card plugged in on the laptop. And I'm going to plug in my cable. See which one's for the, okay, I want the output, not the mic. I'm not trying to send a signal in. So I'm going to plug it in. Now, let's see if I can still put this back in its place without, I have to be more careful now. Could break something real easy. There we go. Okay, now. I think I'll let my coffee be a cable routing post. Okay, yeah, it just reaches. It's not what I had intended them for, but you know, it would have been nice if I'd have got longer ones. Okay, so I'm on the lapel. Let's see, it doesn't really matter what I'm on. And actually that might be a good thing. If I talk on the SM58, I might get a real bad feedback loop. So let me turn this on. Okay, now that was me talking on the regular speakers. Now I'm going to bring up the gain on this, and I should be able to hear it back through the video. Oh wait, I didn't check the output. Yeah, it needs to be, okay, now I got to switch outputs. Okay, now when I bring it up, it should work. On the software in the computer. It should go out through the mixer. Of course, it'll go through the mixer back into my, maybe I need to actually select the, oh, I don't think the hardware. Yeah, it's showing. Do the speaker test. I didn't try this ahead of time, so I wonder. Oh, this goes straight into my computer. You may be hearing that, but not the way I was expecting. I do need to talk to the. No? Oh yeah, this is the sound coming out of the. The sound coming out of the laptop, going back through my mixer, and then making a circle. Hopefully you don't have feedback. That wouldn't be good. Okay. Oh, maybe I can't hear it because. Oh yeah, I'm not going to hear it because I've got it routed to the mixer. So you've been probably hearing me the whole time. Yeah, I'm complicating things. I'm getting over my head here with this. Now, I used to could run through all this junk without having any trouble, but changing things and everything. Built-in audio, that's input. Okay, that's fine. We don't want that. Output, built-in. And this is called, and here it's a CM108 audio controller analog stereo. Okay, so you can't see a signal in the output. If it was the input I was dealing with, I'd see a signal. Stereo duplex, okay, that's the built-in, and that is the CM. Stereo duplex, and it is stereo output, analog input. Okay. Now, output, but I did select, you do need to select which output you have, and of course, if I'd had a forethought, I would have like did a remote desktop into that or something. Okay. So what I need to do then, for me to hear it, is go into the settings in OBS Studio and turn the monitoring on the mic aux 2. And I should hear it. Alright, now do I hear it now? I don't hear it. Okay. So this one is not turning to be such a smart test after all. I mean, it may not be working. Yeah, I realize now that the output going back into my mixer, what I am worried about is getting feedback loop. With that on, you might have got a bad echo with the desktop audio turned on. Well, no, because it's off that other machine. I should have done something simple, like, you know, just something. Well, I didn't want to play any music or anything like that unless it was my own. And I have the cassette. Well, I do have the CD player. The only reason I didn't do a cassette deck or CD player because I had to get in the back of my rack up there to hook up. But maybe I should have. Actually, wouldn't have reached. I don't know why these cables are 6 foot long. I might have wished I'd have got. I mean, if you get 10 foot, then you may end up with picking up radio signals, depending on how well they're shielded, and that's what I was worried about. And I thought, well, I measured my rack, and from the top to the bottom, my patch bay, my RCA patch bay is at the top. That's what I really had in mind, was to go from the patch bay to the computers in the rack. And so I thought those would be enough, evidently. I'll still have to look and see. Okay, I'm going to turn that channel down in case that's causing some kind of trouble. Oh, if I switch that thing back, I'll know whether or not my audio's working. All right, that should tell me. Yeah. Okay, so everything sounds normal now that I'm not trying to send sound out of the other one. I'm wondering if it's even what I tried to do even worked, because the cable could be bad for all I know. Let's try the, let's see this length while I'm still thinking about it. Well, it's just on my, yeah, there it is, 6 foot. So that is what I ordered, 6 foot. I didn't remember that. I go back and forth. Well, I didn't, you know, you don't want to spend any more than you have to. I think maybe the price jumped a lot, and I knew I wanted 3 of them. But that's fine. It'll work in my computer rack, but it doesn't reach from my mixer over to everything in my computer rack. But I already have one that does. So I think it might be 10 foot long. The one that's going to my tape deck is 8 or 10 foot long. It reaches just fine, even routed around behind things. So, and I did buy some, they're called Talent brand, that look just like real pro audio cables, and I thought they're a new brand. I got them at Parts Express, and I got 3 of them. Only one of them still works. Both 2 of them, and the good thing about them is you can, usually the problem ends up in the, you know, the solder joints or something in the connectors, and you can fix that. But I haven't felt like messing with them, so 2 of them are out in the garage waiting for me to try to fix them. The cables are tough and don't break easy, and like these little ones, they do break easy. But they were like 6 something on sale, and so when I bought them, but you know, they've only, I was seeing, I was thinking maybe I bought them at Amazon, but I remember now I bought them at Parts Express. So I started that sentence a while ago. The Pro Audio, I used to mix sound for bands, and I got really, you know, into the Pro Audio cables and how much longer they last and everything. How much more of actual abuse most of them can take, a good brand can. But they've got all these, you know, people like knockoff brands, you know, they look like Pro Audio, but they're not. Well, this was back in the 90s, and even in the 90s, things were made better, you know, so. these, the Tripp Lite have they say lifetime warranty, and I'm sure there's, you know, this, you know, and that's all of their cables. They also make Ethernet cables and other. I didn't even know they made all these different kinds of cables. There's some examples right there. Until just recently, they just came up when I was searching, and they did have real good reviews. So that's pretty good, you know, 74% 5 stars, and no, you know, 4 stars, nothing lower than that. So you don't see that on these kind of cables. So I decided to get these. So hopefully I didn't make a mistake. I don't believe I've plugged anything wrong or said anything wrong. I think I just couldn't hear it because I think it's just not working through my little sound card the way I expected. And I could do an output from the mixer over to that and then listen to it through the little speakers on that, but what do I have? Where am I? Oh, I was thought I was on the desktop a minute ago. Sorry. Everything went wonky for me, so it didn't go as planned. So now I'm kind of confused. Yeah, I don't know why that's not playing back. Input, it should just be going out. The only thing I can figure is the output's not working as expected on the laptop. Maybe, oh, I didn't think about that. I'm gonna unplug it. I just remembered something. I think that is what's wrong. Let me try this again in a different port, USB port. You got to plug the cable in first and then plug it in with these things. And I did just the opposite. Okay, so now I unplugged it, gave it time for it to disappear out of the system. Now let's see if I can, there. I didn't think it would fit with my little, I was using the back ports, which was actually complicating things because I didn't think it would fit with the little wireless keyboard thing in this thing. There's 2 on the back and 2 on the side. Now it came back. Alright, now the output. Alright, now then. I'm going to switch the output to the I think they'll actually work whether you're on them or not, now that I think about it. I see it blinking. Let's see if we're getting anything out of it now. See if it should come back to the maybe it doesn't because I should hear it. How? Oh, I can't hear it because I can't hear them both at the same time. Right. So you're probably hearing me in a delay loop, I would guess. Yeah. Talk and then it comes back through the. So what I'm trying to do is not really working well. Okay. Alright. I thought it would be maybe a bit annoying to listen to, but work fine. I'm going to put everything back on the built-in and unplug that thing. Okay, so my sound seems to be just as fine as ever, but yeah, I think I was using the wrong way to test it. Yeah, if I send the signal out of the laptop back into the mixer, sure, it makes a circle and it goes back to YouTube, I'm pretty sure, but I can't hear it because I don't have the, well, if I had, like, say, the control room going out to, oh, I could have used my headphones. I do have my headphones. Where are they? I think that's still the simplest thing because every other way I've got for doing it is, I may be sorry when I find out how all the echoes I'm afraid I've been getting in this video, but all right, so what I'll do then is how am I going to do this? Oh, okay, I'm going to plug the, oh, I want to know for sure that it comes out I think, yeah, I can do both at the same time. I'll plug my headphones. Okay, I'll plug this output back into the mixer, to the speaker output, speaker or headphone. It's not a high level, you know, of course you need some amplification, but it's phones is what it shows on here. And then oh no, I can't do that. I don't have two outputs. I didn't feel very good today. I'm sorry. I thought my brain was better than this by now, but it's not. Okay, so that I can plug it into the. I still won't know if it's going through to YouTube, but I will know if the signal's coming up and down. If I plug it into the, I have the control room output on the mixer going to that cable and that adapter. That's what it's for, is to send it me to listen in on the control room output. So now I'll try one more time. It's there. Okay, let's see. We'll be listening in. Okay, now I should be getting something. Oh, I'm not getting anything. Okay. Then maybe it ain't working. I remember when I used to try to use this to listen, I had to go into the pulse audio settings. Wait, I think I forgot something. Control room, aux return, control room. Now you good? There we go. Yeah. Okay, now I got a signal. So what's it doing on YouTube? Well, I don't know. I still can't hear that. Okay. So I've got them up. I don't want to go any louder because I don't know what it's doing to the. But let's see. That should be sending it to YouTube. Okay. So yeah, I'll have to keep doing. Okay, I still have to keep plugging and unplugging. I'm gonna turn that down. It's really a. I think it's a wonky way to do it. Okay. Turn that down. I think plugging it in does work just fine. I have a little portable cassette deck player recorder that I use sometimes, but I don't have anything to play on it other than just voice recordings that are stuff that I don't even know what there's on them, you know. I don't even remember what's on there. So that one works. I didn't do well. I need to be able to hear it live to do an actual, you know, wiggle the cable, make sure it doesn't have any bad connections in it or anything, all that sort of thing. So that's not such a handy dandy way to do that over the YouTube anyway. Oh yeah, I could have turned on. Well, when I turned it on in OBS Studio, I wasn't hearing it a while ago. Well, I did it different this time, didn't I? Okay. Well, I know there's a signal in the board. Let's just say that. I do know there's a signal in the board from my little setup. All right. Yeah, it won't reach over yonder. Yeah, I don't have anything that I can play on there. Oh, now that's already set to be playing. Let me get up here and see what's in my tape deck. I didn't really want to. I think I have a cassette in there that's my own music. Or I got I was playing some on my website. I had this stupid old email forward wave that was funny, and I was playing it through my website the other day on a video, and I got a copyright notice. Something that you wouldn't think that anybody ever even, knew who even recorded it. It wouldn't be copyrighted. Well, it was, and I think it's copyright trolls. It was an LLC company. I think it was a copyright troll company. And they didn't say you couldn't use it. They just said, we may put ads on your video. But if you get, I just saw something the other day. If you get like 3 copyright strikes, they take your channel down. So you gotta watch out on that junk. Ridiculous. Gone from free for all to ridiculous in the last, 20 years, I guess, since I really started getting into the internet. Of course, when I first got on there wasn't really any audio or video on the internet. Now this tape, yeah, I don't know what's on it. I got it for recording onto. That's what I thought. That's why I didn't mess with the tape deck, because I didn't know. I don't know what's on it, so I'd have to play it through the, where you would hear it, and whatever it wasn't, it might not be what I want to play. So, got lots of tapes. Well, I don't have. I have one tape that has some recordings of my music, but it's pretty bad quality. I don't remember how I made it, but it didn't turn out very good. Original stuff is, let me think, still probably my best bet. Okay, so I think I can plug in the headphones and see what's on that tape before. This is supposed to be a 10-minute video. It's turning out ridiculous. I kept thinking of how could I do this, and I couldn't think of a way to do it. Let's see. Oh, the control room goes. Yeah, oh, okay, tape to control room. Trying to think there's ways I can reroute the mixer. Tape to control room. Tape input to tape input instead of the way I've been doing it. And then tape to control room, and I think it'll bypass what, going to you until I see what's on it. Okay. I really don't know for sure, to be honest, with this minute. Okay. Really don't know for sure. Okay. Now I'm going to start my tape. I'm going to leave the preview going so I can tell. And I'm going to start my tape. Now I should be the only one hearing it, though. Yeah. Well, okay. So the yeah, it was just a sound test that didn't work too well, and so it's really not going to be of any use so it's not going to be any use for this because I don't know if I have cassette of my own. Surely I have one decent cassette. My music's all on CDs, but I should have a cassette of it that I made at some point. I just don't remember where it is. That would send it. That would send it. That would send it. Okay. I can reach my cassettes. I think where I think they are. I mean, where I think I might have one. I can get there. Get them all. Boxes of them here. Let's see. Yeah, this is. Just move all the ones we're not using right now out of the way. I think testing sound stuff. It's always like this. Well, when I used to do sound for bands, we had it all down, you know, it was all a system. And you really needed, I mean, if you're doing a good sized show, then you really needed, our rule was 4 hours before the show to start setting up. I mean, bringing in the sound gear in a trailer or a truck and, you know, bringing it in, setting it up, everything. But you could do it in 2 hours. Really, you couldn't hardly do it in an hour, really. Well, unless everything was actually already there. But anyway, you could wire everything. If it was all in there, and you could just wire it all up and go in maybe within an hour. But that was about it. So yeah, it's not a. But now I'm just doing. My memory's too vague. Not anything there that I can use. Everything is so dusty. I don't want to open them up until I wipe them off because I don't want that dust just going everywhere and getting in my face. There we go. That's the one I was thinking about. I used to leave it in the cassette deck. I think it's not very good quality, but I guess it wasn't so bad. I thought I should, you know, record over it or whatever. So, John and Marty, a guy named Marty Splawn, that he played all on my Dawn Songs 002. That was the first one we did, and then we did one in 05 called I called it Living Beings Climate Control. This is, I don't remember how I dubbed it. From what I remember, it didn't work too well. Okay, let's put it in the player. One's just a player. Yeah. Now again, I think I'll check it before I actually, you know, do it. To the internet. Okay, so it's already wired up still. And should be able to hit play over here. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, there's something wrong with the... But I'm going to rewind it to the front. And I'm going to do my cable that I want to test instead of into the channel that I usually have. See, I have the cassette into the tape input now. So I'll just put the tape output. Wait, how do I want to do this? I still want to be able to hear it. That's the thing. So that just lets me monitor. Oh, tape to control room. Right. Okay, so yeah. Oh, I was listening to it off the control room outputs then. Okay. So tape output. Yeah, if it's only going into the tape input, that doesn't mean it's going to go on the channels. This is how I usually used it, and then I would do control room output. If I do control room output, well, that'd be the input on the... Let's see. If I do control room output and do input on the I would actually need to do input on this machine that I'm on. Suppose that's possible. Or if I go into the channel like I was doing. Oh, that was just to preview, wasn't it? So if the cassette deck goes into the channel, well, that bypasses my cable. Okay. If I go out of the cassette, take the control room output. Channel input, cassette. Yeah, this is actually a regular RCA cassette to the board. Okay. And I usually put it on a channel. So, but if I want to go tape input, control room output, that does separate it. And instead of going to my headphones, which I can take off now because my ears are already sweating. I don't like wearing headphones at all. There's too much sound in my ears, everything. Okay, so control room output. Back to, and instead of going to the laptop, I'm going to try going to the, uh-oh, that means I have to unplug. Well, I don't need the endoscope anymore. But that does mean that I can't plug it back in without closing OBS and opening it up again. Okay, we'll try it. So what I'm going to do is unplug the, put this on input on this card here. I mean this USB adapter, input. And the last time I plugged it in, it didn't work right off, and I already knew the other one worked, so I didn't want to fool with it. Into this machine, I mean, it just worked in the laptop just fine. So I unplugged the endoscope, which I don't think I need any. I have my cable. I have other talking through. Second. I'll do that. One. Well, check 1, 2. Now it's okay. Okay, but I don't hear it over there. Okay, now I hear it. I think it went away for a second for some reason. It must have went away because I unplugged that. So I'm gonna get on the SM58. All right, I'll be more sure that I have sound, since I am fiddling around with USB stuff. Okay, now I'm gonna get up here and plug it in to the other USB. Now, yeah, now when I play that music, I gotta get the, oops, can't do that. I'm gonna put that up under that keyboard up there. When I shove in my keyboard, it made it to grab that cable. Get it up higher there where my keyboard won't hit it. Okay, now I needed my remote, aka back scratcher. It's so worn out it doesn't hold good in the middle. Now I can hit the play button up there. Alright, now I want to be ready for it to be loud, so I think I'll actually turn it down. Okay. Now I'm going to start the music. And we'll bring it up. We'll just bring it up a little bit at a time. There's going to be some blank at the beginning of the tape. Okay, I see a signal on the board, but I don't hear it. Oh, okay. I think I have to hit tape the control room, tape the main mix. Okay, yeah, tape the control room and tape the main mix. So I have to hit. Oh yeah, so all I did was just. Oh, it's going back to my computer. Right. I know, I'm still in confusion. You can probably hear all of my talking back there. I didn't ever go to the settings, the audio settings. So, you know what? I just realized what I'm trying to do probably won't work using two at once. So I've got, yeah, I can't use, yeah, you can use two inputs at once. Oh, but they're not turned on in OBS Studio. So let's see if we have, I don't think we see them all. No, we don't see them all. I don't even know if it, let's see, yeah. aux 2 is working. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's two inputs, okay. And the other one, there should be a third input, but that didn't work. Okay, so plugging that in didn't work along with the other one. So, again, my routing didn't work. So I won't change anything because I don't want to mess up my, I don't want to completely lose my audio here on my stream, so. Okay. Well, what a convoluted way to try to test do a simple cable test. I think I've just got my routing confused in my head, one thing, but no, well, I didn't see that USB, so it didn't. I don't know, it works in the laptop. I just saw it work. Just plug it in and it works. And from what I know, they're both this. Get that on, and I forget that I need to turn it back off. I just wanted to see if it worked. From what I know, they're the same brand and everything. I do remember there seemed to be little differences in how each one worked, though, in that laptop. But that one works good in the laptop, for sure. I just tried it. So maybe you just can't do two at once, and maybe the operating system can't handle it. And you would think it would, really, with USBs. But then again, since I had that camera in it and unplugged it, it could not have let go of that USB port, too, for all I know. So, okay, so what I was thinking, let's see. I need to recheck how I routed everything. Let me get back. See, I think I can get back on the other mic now. Seems to be fine. Okay. Something's gone wrong. Well, it seems something's gone wrong with the USB. Maybe I messed everything up. I think it was all right before I unplugged that endoscope cam. So I better stay on the SM58. I just have to, you know, if I want to look at close up to the mixer, I have to get off the mic. Okay, so I'm thinking of how I had that routed again. Let's see. Okay, control room out. I think what happened. Yeah, okay, tape to control room. That was so I could listen to it. I didn't actually need to leave that on. Then you can do control room to main mix. I mean, you can do 2-track to main mix. They don't call it tape. They call it 2-track, which is the number 2. They used to always, on mixers, used to always say tape. 2-track to control room. It's the way I was monitoring it, listening to the control room. But if I send it to the main mix, Thing's still playing over there. If I send it to the main mix, then we would hear it, but that would bypass the wiring. So that's why I was trying to use the controller and use another sound card. Okay, right, now I get it. So yeah, I could do that, but and it's all distorted. Has it been doing that the whole time? There we go, yeah. So I thought, oh no, did I have that on the whole time? But I didn't. You had to press in a tape to main mix to get the tape input, but I have it playing. Yeah, it's all distorted. That's why I guess I was either recording out of the computer into the cassette deck, probably recording out of the computer into the cassette deck, and had its levels too high. So, but that was not using any of this new cable. That was using the cables I already have, so that didn't give me any. Whoops. Just unplug. Well, that's all right. That's how I want to do it anyway. I want to unplug this new cable, and I think I will put my cassette deck back in. Oh, it belongs in the channel if I'm going to do it that way. Okay. If I go into a channel from what? Cassette deck, yes. See, the problem is it's the cassette deck's RCA to RCA. This is a 3.5mm male to RCA, so that doesn't, unless I use some kind of converters, which would throw a easy way to have a problem into it. You don't want any extra adapters or anything in there. Then you don't get a good test. So, oh, and I'm still on. Okay. Well, I thought this would be a simple video to start with today. I wanted to do some computer videos, and I probably would have done better on them. It really does take a lot of. There's so many options, even on a small mixer like this. It still has all the basic input and output and auxes and everything that a big mixer has. It just didn't have as many channels, so you can do a lot of things. That's why I bought this thing. There's a lot of things you can do that I wanted to have the ability to do, but you got to be able to think straight to figure out how you're routing everything. Okay, so how would I? The simplest thing would be that little mini cassette deck, output here to the. Oh, there's another thing I've tried. No, I have tried every adapter I've got on the phones. I've got some that came with my lapel mics that. It'll make my lapel mics work on a computer, for instance. That's the way I have it plugged in right now. Of course, something went wrong. I think I messed up the USBs messing around there, but it won't work into the mixer. I found them, and I didn't order it because I thought, well, I don't really need it. Now I wish I had it right now. Of course, I might not have got it yet, but an adapter that will, you can plug a TRRS into it, and then I'd have had to bought a TRRS cable too. Let's see, what did it have? No, it had a male TRRS, so you could plug that right into the phone, and then two females. One was for mic out, and the other one was for headphone in. And so, one was marked mic and one was marked headphone. And so, the mic one, I might not have did what I want. What I want is to send the sound out. Oh, the headphones. The headphone one you could plug into your mixer, right? The other one you could still plug your standard lapel into the mic and get in there. So you could split off the signal that way. And so, like a lot of people use their phones to play sound into their podcasts or whatever, their YouTube videos. But you do have to have the right adapters. And as many adapters as I've got, I don't have the right ones. They have to be these are TRS, tip ring sleeve. You got to have tip ring sleeve for your phone, and they've got to be. Now I've got, like I said, several different adapters that came with my lapel mics, but they're not the right pinout to send just stereo. What I'd want to be able to do is plug this into the adapter from the phone, and then these two into the mixer, and then I'd be set up. So yeah, this right here would do it. I'm pretty sure this one works, but I didn't get to hear it myself. I think maybe it went into the recording the first way that I did it, it went into the YouTube, but I couldn't hear it because I had it going into the, I had my sound coming out of the laptop I'm monitoring with, so it was getting a replay of what I just said is what it should have been doing. And then I was trying to listen to it at the same time to see if everything was working, but I couldn't get that going. Okay, so this actually won't go. Yeah, this actually is not made to go into the you know, the RCA cassette decks and stuff anyway. So phone won't work. I've already tried that. I keep thinking, surely I've got it. No, I don't have one. I've tried it 100 times. What I do have is I don't have anything to, I was going to say I could just, I don't think you can do a live test on this recorder. I think you have to actually be recording. I haven't tried that in a while. So this thing, pretty handy. Had it for a lot of years, and I keep getting it out of the, having to stay with the mic now. It had an external mic that quit working, but yeah, I can do the I don't know what's on it right now. Let's see. Oh, I don't even have a tape in it right now. Huh. So I'll have to get a tape and put in it. I just don't know what's on all these tapes. Most of it is stuff I actually don't want to erase. That's the thing, and it might take forever to go through it. That may be why there's not one in there right now, because I was thinking I need to, well, usually what I do is dub them into the computer and then write over them. That really close-up magnifying glass doesn't work. Let's see. I'm looking. I got labels on them. That's why I'm trying to read the labels. Some of them are upside down one way and right side up the other way. Yeah, I don't think I have. I don't see any that are labeled in a way that I would want to just start recording on them. Don't think you can just can try it and see, but I don't think you can just put it in. Where's my cable that goes around to my? And one of these cables needs to. This one that I've been messing around with here. It's actually, I think it's down there on the other end. I wasn't sure if it was that female to female adapter or the cable itself, but I was just wiggling it. I think it's the, can't get it up in the, I think the cable is going bad. You know, it's the conductors are breaking inside there. So, I'm going to take my cassette deck out of there again. Put this back in there. Make sure I don't have any tape to control room turned on or any of that. Put it on a regular channel, and if I can put it in like pause record, then maybe I can just talk to it talk to the mic. It's a built-in mic and an external mic, and the external mic went cables. I think the cables went bad in it, or the mic diaphragm went bad. But yeah, this is the perfect setup. Can't do pause record without a tape. That's what I thought, but you might be able to. No, this one you can't get a whole. Some of them you can leave the door open, and the regular big cassette deck. Again, I don't know what's what here. Let's see. Yeah. I couldn't really see it all that good when I was looking at it. Okay. I think this thing, oh, it's at the beginning on one side. I'm going to say it may be in the middle from where I was using it last, but I'm going to see if I can pause it and not be recording and see what happens. If it was stuff I could play, I would just play it. I think the batteries might be dead. I don't know. They haven't been dead when I checked them. But it's not doing anything. Oh gosh, yes. They're completely and utterly corroded. That's probably why I took the tape out. It probably wouldn't play last time, and I don't know if I opened it up or not, but they started leaking. Now I don't have the endoscope plugged in, but maybe I can stick it up there far enough. Of course, I had to drop the thing in my lap. They didn't fall out. I'm trying to dump them out into the trash can. They don't even want to come out of there. Ah, it makes me so mad. I try not to let things get like that. Can't see it. Electrical cleaner. Well, I've got the electrical cleaner right here on the desk, so let's use it. I'm getting myself situated. I'll have to go off mic for a second. Well, I got a little bit on my finger, but not too bad. I thought about it about the time I pulled the trigger that maybe I should wear my little blue gloves. But let me get over there and look at it. I guess I can check my wireless mic one more and see if it works. Check 1, 2. No, it's still not working. Something went wrong with it. I guess I might as well unplug it and plug it back in and see if that fixes it. Sometimes that does fix it. Check 1, 2. Yep. I think maybe me plugging in that other sound card threw everything out. I used to, what I'll do is put them in. Those are mine. So basically, way to check batteries. Hey, well, they on the desk. I get sick of leave them on. Know that those are the ones I'd use in a flashlight. I did it. Look at it. Really have to be looking. That's why I didn't throw away those. Well, I had them at the bottom of the I wouldn't remember it was wrong. My cables from my mic. Oh, now it's back to work. Check 1, 2. I don't know what's getting off of that lapel. I think it was cutting in and out. I don't think it's a cable. It might be, but I was checking the cables. If you heard me saying check 1, 2, I was twisting the connections and all that. I think it might be, like I said, something to do with the USB dropping in and out. And what happens, I think, is the machine can't handle. I think you know, I didn't plan on going all that long in the first place, but I had the USB really works a machine a lot harder than you might think. And what audio or video? See, one's audio, one's video, and so I had the endoscope just running, you know, into the machine even though I wasn't using it. And I finally unplugged it, but it seems like sometimes I have gone long enough with 2 USB devices plugged in that the machine just flat got to where it wouldn't respond, and it was. I think it might have locked up. If I remember right, I think it locked up while I was trying to stop everything. But before I noticed it, but seems like when I unplug that endoscope in particular, sometimes it's fine and sometimes it actually causes trouble. So it probably wasn't a real good idea to do that. Okay, now I've got a different tape in there. Let me see. Oh, and I'm in front of the other camera. Yeah, that's one. Sometimes I used to wake up and I'd record a description of a dream I had, but I don't know what these are about. Or I kind of quit doing it. I thought it was kind of interesting for a while, but I don't know if I want to play that either. Let's see. So I'd have to listen to it first. Let's see. Rewind. There. Now I got back to the beginning, but that goes right into it, so I don't want to. I'd rather risk messing up that other tape than this one, because this one might be something I want to keep. Lost my mind here. Since I don't know if I dubbed it or not. And I was thinking the one that, you know, it said on there it was my van, and it wasn't my van, then I never intended to go through all this junk. Okay. Yeah, there it is. I guess this is the one I just had in there. Yeah, the one I just had in there didn't sound like much of anything. It was a bad recording. So at least if I put it in there and try to pause, put it in there, get it at the beginning. Where's it going? Oh, it was at the end. No, it wasn't at the end. It doesn't go the way a normal tape deck goes, or does it? Yeah, maybe it does. I guess it depends on. It's just always confused me. I always knew which way things were going and where I was with my regular cassette decks. Okay. Okay, now what I'm thinking is I can put output cable, my new cable. Yes, I'm still trying to test a cable. It seems like I went into a Twilight Zone. But I am trying to test the cable. Sound out. Let's see. Now, if I hit pause and record all at the same time, it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, but I don't know if it picks up any sound. I don't think this one does. We'll talk to the mic and see. All right, let's see. Now, let's see how things go there. Oh, let's try and talk to the mic. The only way we'll be able to tell is to get that SM58 out of the way. Okay, now let's see if we get anything. I don't know. Well, I see a signal coming up. Oh, that's because of the SM58s over there. Yeah, this is not going to pick up anything like this. I didn't think it would. You have to be now. If I was I don't think it would even play out while it's recording. Okay, so you didn't hear that. No, it won't. You can't have it in pause record and have it pick up like some recorders do. So, well, now I've fiddled around here so long that I'm dying to have a break. I don't see a single one of those tapes that, like, if there was just a I wouldn't want to do that really, but if there was, excuse me, like just do a test 1 2 recording and keep play it, rewind it, but I don't want to put that in the middle of something, and I don't want to. If it had some beginning space, it was blank, I might be able to do that. That's what I was sitting there thinking. But I need a break, and I still want to test my cables. I just can't seem to get my head straight to figure out a simple way to do it. Everything's long and convoluted. All right. I'm going to go now, take a break, and perhaps I'll come back and I thought it'd be so simple to test those cables. I didn't think I really had to prep for it because all the different things I have, different ways to do it, but heck, couldn't think straight and got into 10 sidetracks. So I'm going to go now and take a break. And it's not what I want to spend all my evening on is this. I've got all kinds of computer stuff I want to do. So I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye-bye.